Can you tell me a little bit about Scott's, how he raised his family and how much he worked and his background in hunting for meat and not really for the size of the antlers?
Oh, absolutely. I don't really know if the size of the antler was ever significant to Scott. It was more about nutrition and food. Scott and Rachel got married at 18 and 19 years old, and they're now 50 and 51. They raised 5 children. Rachel stayed home. She was a great partner. She gardened and canned, and Scott hunted. He provided the family with meat.
My name is Scott Gutlovics. I'm from Reamer, Minnesota. I grew up hunting and fishing and trapping on the family farm where I grew up in Wacom, Minnesota. I've done most of my hunting in the lower 48, chasing whitetails and black bear and turkeys.
Give me a little background on your dad's hunting.
My dad's hunting? Yep. My dad's hunting, I think, was mostly an opportunity to feed us because there was 5 kids, and so when he went hunting, he wasn't waiting for the biggest deer, the biggest bear. He was shooting out of necessity to feed us. So this trip was different in that my dad's never treated himself to something this grand, if you will.
A trip to Alaska's always been a goal, and I've had opportunities, but I just never really capitalized on it. So
I've encouraged my dad to go treat himself on trips because I know he never really did before. One of the places I said, I was like, Dad, you should go to Alaska, you should just see it. And he would often say back to me, I don't want to go to Alaska because I don't want to know what I'm missing out on. I don't want to know what I've missed out on. So coming here, I really wanted him to experience all the things that Alaska has to offer.
Went to go on a little scouting mission last night and took off and hiked in about a mile and walked into a wall of fog. So we sat there for half hour, 45 minutes, and there was no end in sight. So we figured we'd go back to camp, just situate all our stuff for camp and hike in the morning, hoping that the fog would clear out, but it's pretty foggy. We're hoping we can hike up over this first ridge and maybe drop down into a valley and get low enough to where there's no fog. But we got a good little ways to go before we hit that valley. But we're just gonna take our time, kind of just keep easing our way in, and hopefully we can bump into some caribou.
And blueberries.
I don't know. Our first day, full day of hunting here, and we hiked in about 3 miles to a drainage back here that kind of leads up into the mountains, and thought it'd be a good little travel corridor for some caribou to be heading south for their winter grounds, and we struck out. We sat here for probably an hour and glassed all of it and haven't turned up a single caribou. So we're going to turn and burn. We're going to run back to the RV and then head further north.
So we get there, and mind you, we had already hiked 5 miles that day, heavy. We're hiking in, and slowly my dad is at the back of the pack, and we get like 3.5, 4 miles in. He gets up to me and he's like, if there's not caribou back in here, this is it for me. Like, I can't do this again. And I was ready to cry. Oh man, I wanted to like give him my legs.
This is probably mile 7 for the day or mile 8 for the day with 60-pound packs. My left knee, it was hurting bad. And I was extremely afraid that I wasn't gonna be able to, finish this hunt out. So we ended up camping about 4.5 miles in, hastily putting up camp before dark. During that next morning, I woke up and my knee was still hurting a little bit, but we were able to hunt with light packs, and my knee, the walking slowly loosened it up where it was feeling better.
We're just gearing up for the morning. Made it about probably like 4.5 miles in here yesterday evening. Got set up just before the rain came. Our plan today is to hike up to this ridge. There's a little bit of a higher spot where we camped last time. We haven't seen any caribou yet on the hike in, but we're hoping we get up over that ridge and maybe we can find some. We're not banking on being 1,000 of them down in there, but if we could just find a couple little herds or some bulls, that would definitely raise our morale. So
this is exciting. There's some caribou out here. I know. I never would have dreamt. There wasn't that many caribou around. I mean, there just wasn't. And we'd heard that the migration had already happened to some degree, and we just didn't know where to go next. So as we were laying there, I was laying on my back, kind of staring up at the sky, and my daughter got on the scope, and she was just doing a 360 with it, and all of a sudden she says, I see bulls coming at us.
So Hayden just spotted like 4 bulls way out on the horizon. They're coming, looks like they're gonna come straight to us. We're kind of on a high ridge, so I don't know if that's what their landmark is, to come to this high ground. But coming across this swampy, nasty stuff. They're actually running right past our camp.
So Corey said, we're gonna shoot from right here. So we grabbed the rifle and scooted up kind of to a shooting position. I just remember my daughter saying, he's going down. And then she basically pushed me off the gun and got it repositioned on the next bull in line. And I stood back behind her and I watched her do her thing, put her bull down. So, very cool. Okay, I'm done.
There, he went down. He's going down. He's a hell of a lot closer there than freaking.
You haven't done yet.
I knew that this trip was really significant for many reasons. He's a very humble man, Scott is. He doesn't expect much. So this was, I think, really heartfelt. But the greatest thing for me is to see Hayden and Scott together doing something that they both love and that she learned from him.
The first formative years of my daughter, I was her guide. I was her outfitter, and made sure she had the equipment and the boots and the rifle or shotgun that we needed, and I was getting her out of bed, and it's weird how the worm has turned, and now she's kind of my outfitter. Very, very cool to see and experience that, you know, come full circle.
This is a dinner earned.
Yeah, it's good.
Oh, it's so good.
It's like my grandpa always said, shooting an animal on a trip is just a bonus. Having a safe hunt, having a lot of laughs and memories with friends and family is really what it's all about, and I think this trip really encompasses all that, with Hayden, her dad, and her mom all getting to share the same adventure. And this trip, I feel like, was something that Scott really deserved.
I wanted him to experience how vast and wild it is. I wanted him to see the northern lights. I wanted him to sleep out in the middle of nowhere. I wanted him to see herds of migrating caribou. I wanted him to catch big grayling trout out of rivers that have never been fished. And I think we accomplished almost all of that.
I think he sacrificed a lot in his early years as far as working and making sure his family was taken care of, so I think it's pretty cool for him to come up here and get to do this trip of a lifetime. I hope it's, you know, something that we can do again in the future.
Starting off today, I think we all were really, we were not expecting to see caribou or shoot caribou, and we just got back to camp about an hour ago with 2 dead caribou, and I'm really excited and I'm really happy that my dad was able to shoot one, because that's, for me, what this trip was about, was his success. Like, I didn't care if I didn't get one. I wanted him to get one, so now I feel like I can relax, and now we just have to get all this stuff out of here, and then from there on out I'll just feel really at ease. So Corey's up next. Probably take us 10 days to shoot one good enough for him.